The Bears and Bills had their joint practice today, and Bears training camp is coming to an end. But today was one of the most intense practices that we've seen in a while. The Bears defensive backs made life tough on Bills quarterback Josh Allen, and there were offensive and defensive fireworks throughout practice. The most concerning thing is obviously the left tackle position, where we have five guys competing for the starting job and none of them have emerged as the favorite with just a few weeks to go until the regular season. I want to update you guys on everything you need to know from today's practice. Let's go ahead and get right into it. First, let's do the injury update, and Shamar Turner is back. He returned to practice in full pads and was ready to go today, although he did not participate in team drills, a huge boost to the defensive line and great news for our rookie second round pick. Meanwhile, Jalen Johnson, Kyler Gordon, and Zay Frazier all remain out. And then Case Keenum also missed practice today after leaving early yesterday. But now let's talk about the biggest concern for the 2025 Chicago Bears. Who will protect Caleb's blind side? So far, nobody has emerged from the group. We have some pretty noticeable developments at the left tackle position and some worrisome news here. Ben Johnson said it himself. The Bears brass simply believe that Ozzie is more comfortable on the right side right now. Not good news for our rookie tackle. I expected that Ozzie Trapillo would take over the starting job by now. Instead, he's been demoted and he's working at right tackle. Our new head coach saying that Ozzie definitely looks more comfortable on the right side and that his footwork is better over there is not a good development for the rookie. Honestly, taking a right tackle as high as we did in round two simply does not make any sense. We need Ozzie to have the ability to play on the left side, and the focus should be on getting him more comfortable over there, not relegating him to a backup. This might be one of the first things I've seen that I really don't agree with from Ben Johnson, but I believe he has a plan and that Ozzie will be back on the left side soon. I believe that moving Darnell Wright would be a mistake. Darnell is on pace to develop into one of the better right tackles in football. Stick Ozzie on the left side and let him continue getting better and battling it out with Braxton, Theo, and Karan. But Ben Johnson said he's looking for some clarity at that position. And he added that Theo is right in the middle of the competition right now. A guy who was overlooked coming into the year, he has battled for a spot. Today was potentially the biggest practice of training camp, and it was Theo Benedict getting reps of the first team at left tackle. Braxton Jones was the second team left tackle. Ozzie Trapillo remained on the right side with the second unit, and Karan Amagaji is still with the third string. I will say this much, though. When it comes to today's practice, Braxton Jones got beat more than any other tackle on our roster. He did not have a good day. Theo and Ozzie have both looked solid, but neither of those guys have been perfect either. Based on the last three practices alone, the left tackle job seems to be down to Braxton Jones versus Theo Benedict. And Theo has started the last two practices, but Braxton will rotate in later in practice. Right now, it's looking like Theo Benedict might actually get the start on Sunday night, something to keep an eye on. Okay, now let's talk about today's practice. On offense first, Caleb would get off to a hot start, and his connection with Rome Odunze continues getting stronger and stronger. Rome is the guy he looks for in key situations, and Rome might be evolving into wide receiver one right in front of our very eyes. I won't overreact because DJ is still a huge part of this offense, but Rome Odunze is ready to break out. He made some special catches today, and he was Caleb's favorite target again. He was also cooking the Bills' cornerbacks and constantly getting wide open. On top of his performance early in practice, he had two TD catches in the red zone drills later on in the day. One long TD down the sideline, and then another one where he got wide open, slipped, and still managed to get in the end zone. Rome was the player of the day again. But another guy who has really been developing here is free agent addition Olamide Zaccheaus, who I'm going to nickname Oz or OZ for short. He continues making plays over the middle of the field, and he looks like he's going to be heavily involved in this offense. He got open a ton of times today, and he caught at least a handful of passes including a long TD from Caleb Williams. He was getting open against these Bills defenders. But DJ Moore continues getting his targets as well. And Ben Johnson is finding unique ways to get the ball into his hands, including screens, touches out of the backfield, and more. Cole Kmet, DeAndre Swift, and Colston Loveland also made plays today. Another thing we saw was rookie Kyle Monungai getting some reps with the starters. He had a nice catch out of the backfield today, and he's looked great when he's gotten opportunities. Luther Burden also got some reps with the first team. Caleb looked his way a couple of times, and then later in practice, Caleb connected on a deep pass to Colston Loveland. The rookie was getting separation against Bills defenders all day long. Both the Bears' offense and defense started the day out getting the better of the Buffalo Bills, but the Bills would battle back in the second half of practice, especially in the red zone situation. But I think the general consensus is that the Bears look like the better team early in practice, and it was a lot more even for the second half. The second team offense, though, was not as crisp today. Tyson Bagent would miss a couple of throws, and there were multiple false starts and a delay of game. Luther Burden would make some big plays, though. He was torching the Bills' second string, and Ian Wheeler also had a long TD run. It was odd to see Cole Kmet running with the second team. He actually took a big hit, got shaken up, and would leave practice for a little bit, but he returned a few plays later. Later in practice, Bagent would hit Devin Duvernay for a TD in the red zone drills, an up and down day for the second team offense. But let's talk about the defense, where our starters made some big plays all day long. Safety Kevin Byard would start the day off with an interception on Josh Allen, but he wasn't done yet, getting another interception later in practice. It was a big day for Byard and the rest of the secondary. But another guy, Jaquan Brisker, continues having an awesome training camp. He was all over the field today. He almost picked off Josh Allen on one pass, and he added multiple PBUs. Nashawn Wright also continued looking awesome. He locked down the Bills' receivers for most of the day. He broke up several passes and would pick off Josh Allen. Although the Bills' quarterback would get him back towards the end of practice, he connected with Keon Coleman for a nice TD. Overall, though, the Bears' defense made it hard on MVP candidate Josh Allen. The Bears' defensive backs continue playing physical, and they're out there competing. They've been awesome all training camp long, and this is without Jalen Johnson, Kyler Gordon, or Zay Frazier on the field. Guys like Jaquan Brisker, Nashawn Wright, and Tyreek Stevenson have all been battling and showing off great coverage skills. Tyreek added another good day, although he was briefly pulled from the field for getting into it with Bills receivers during a red zone drill. It was very physical, and there was some pushing and shoving. Nashawn Wright got into a shoving match with the Bills receivers. Daniel Hardy got into a big fight on special teams. And Luther Burden would actually get tackled late and drew a flag from the refs. And Luther would show off his maturity by not reacting to it. Good job by Luther. A couple of other notes from the defense. Austin Booker had an awesome day against the Bills' offensive line. He started out in 1v1 drills looking explosive, but he continued into the team portion as well, and he was constantly in the Bills' backfield. We could really be on the verge of an Austin Booker breakout. Interested to see how he performs this Sunday. Rookie linebacker Ruben Hippolyte looked good today as well. He made a few plays and also had an interception off Mike White. This was a great practice overall, and it set the tone for Sunday night's preseason battle against the Bills. But by far my biggest worry is at left tackle. Nothing I saw today really inspired confidence for me. We're running out of time here, and someone needs to step up. Ozzie Trapillo has a couple of weeks to get back on the coach's good side, the left side. Or it looks like it'll be Theo Benedict versus Braxton Jones. But Ben Johnson talked about it today. Nobody has stepped up, and right now, whoever starts week 1 might not even be the guy who starts all year long. Ben said it's something they will monitor over the first few weeks of the season because they're looking to find the right guy. This is now definitely my biggest concern for the regular season. Ozzy Trapillo simply hasn't impressed the coaches yet. Karan hasn't showed off his skill set, and Braxton Jones looks really rusty coming back from his offseason ankle surgery. And the guy the coaching staff seems most excited about right now is last year's undrafted free agent Theo Benedict. Sunday night's game will be huge for the left tackle position. The starters will be playing, and I cannot wait to see Caleb and these guys in action. This will be our first time seeing Caleb taking snap with Ben Johnson calling the plays. A new era of Bears football is officially about to kick off. Let's hope for some fun, guys. Give me a bear down in the comments if you'll be watching the game. I appreciate everyone who watches. Please hit that like button for me. Stay tuned. And until next time, bear down.